for business, so hang on. Oh no, I'm live already. Hello. Shoot. My daughter's here playing. I was just explaining to her. I'm like, I'm gonna do a quick class. Hi, Mrs. Ferber. Thanks for joining me. I know that you're like a digital queen, but I'm going to take my iPad and show you how to take yesterday's. I'm just like hanging out in the living room here. Yesterday's print design and bring it into one of my favorite apps. Good morning. So happy to have you here because I have been one of those digital phobes, like resisting digital design forever, even though I took, oi, tudo bom? Gata, eh? I looked at my, what do you call it? I took Photoshop in like 1997 or something. Brasil, bom dia. I took a digital Photoshop class and it was like, woo, so complicated. It was Photoshop 7, is that possible? A million years ago? And I got enough of a taste of it to know that it's really complex. There's a lot of tools, you know, big separation between feeling something and creating an expression of what you feel, right? Now I'm one of those, I'm a singer. I like to feel and like put it straight out there. You know, I don't even have patience for guitar or piano because I just can't, I can't express what I feel inside as immediately as I can with a voice. So what I'm going to do here is show you how to sing a little bit on your iPad. I did a half-hour class yesterday about sketching up a print design and putting it into repeat in a straight repeat. And what I'm going to do, let me flip around. Welcome everyone who's hopping on. Please feel free to introduce yourself or ask questions at any time. My happy little girl is singing throughout this scope. Speaking of singing again, but I will be showing you, I'm going to pick up my iPad and show you right away. I got this iPad just a few months ago and can't even be sure how I started using the digital app. What was it that got me into it? Yeah, because I use Instagram a lot. I use Instagram like every day. And exactly a year ago, I had like 200 followers. They were all friends and family. And then I started to repost a lot. I was following Carnaval in Recife, Brazil. It was like the dead of winter, and it was all this beautiful, like folkloric face painting and you know, like colored ribbons and sequins and all this beauty coming up. So I started reposting. Hello, Savannah, Georgia. Thanks for hopping on today. Gosh, I need glasses. Butterflies, do it. I love your name. Really happy. Oh, so when I started reposting, thanks for joining me and thanks for the hearts, guys. Hi, Turkey. Oh, I love connecting with the world. So I was on Instagram when I started reposting a lot. I realized, oh my gosh, I was reposting content that I loved and my following like quintupled in like a month. So it's a wonderful place now on Instagram that connect with so many people using hashtags and using associations. Like following one person I love, I then connect with other people who are connected with them. Instagram is an amazing way to connect with your tribe of people who share the aesthetics you have or the values you have. You can also use the hashtags to search, you know, and I can do other posts about that. In fact, I have a half-hour class about using, you know, building your Instagram the way that I did too. So anyway, I'm going to get to the content. So I'm going to flip around and I'm going to show you the apps I love. Maybe just one app, but either way, it's been mind-blowing. Oh, so on Instagram, the reason I got into the apps was that everyone else's artwork looks so bright and shiny. And every time I take a picture of one of my illustrations, no matter what I do, it's always a little dark. And if I lighten it too much, I end up losing richness in the color. So using the apps to create some of my artwork makes it much brighter. And so when I post stuff on Instagram, it really goes into the... It not that competes, but like it shines more. Thank you very much. I would say thank you, but I don't know your language. Here we go. I'm going to flip you around. Da, 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 da. All right, so yesterday we created together, many of us, this print design. Those of you who were there, maybe not. Now what we're gonna do is I took a picture of it in my iPad, but I do wanna talk to you about that a little because I'm talking to total beginners. So when you take photos of your art, like I said, that's a challenge in myself, but one thing you really have to be careful. Thank you so much. If you check yesterday's scope, you can watch this get created. These are actually Periscope hearts. And I created it live with the energy of everyone who joined me on that scope. So it was a really fun process. It's also on catch.me, K-A-T-C-H.me. It's the first scope that I've put on Catch so that it remains available to people. So you can check that out too. Even after the Periscope expires, it'll still be on catch.me. It's also in my Fashion Tribalistas Facebook group. Okay, so here's the picture. When you take a picture, check this out. If I tilt my camera a little, this gets wider at the bottom and narrow at the top. If I tip it the other way, it gets wide here and narrow. That's perspective, right? You want to make sure your camera is as perfectly parallel to your art as possible. It's the only way you won't get distortion on what you're photographing. So I already photographed it here. You also don't want to get shadows on it. You want to get a really nice, even, here's my camera. I'll open up my camera first and just show you the picture I took. Da-da-da. There we go. And I did it all with my tablecloth and everything just to be really down home and natural about it. Whoops, sorry guys. All right, so here's the picture and here's what I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is crop it in before I go into my app. So here's my edit. I'm going to grab the crop tool and pull it in. And remember, if I haven't been super careful about photographing it with my phone parallel to the image, I won't be able to get a perfect square out of it. It's not going to be a perfect square. But I was super careful in the way I photographed it. And you'll see that this is so true when you're doing this kind of print work. If it's not just so, things won't line up the way you want them to. Okay, here we go. Please chime in if you want to introduce yourself or tell us where you are or whether you're interested in this kind of material, if you're interested in fashion or print design or experience. Okay, just want to make sure I got the whole thing right in. You want the edges? Thank you for your hearts. Love you. It's great to have the hearts. Let me know if this is interesting. Okay, I moved over here. This is a better view. So now I got the cleanest edges I can, and you want that because you want all your edges to match up when you put it into repeat. Repeat means I'm going to take this tile I created and tile it so that all the edges, so I can see what it looks like as an overall print and not just one tile. So I did that in my iPad, just pushing edit on the photo, and now I'm going to push done. And now I'm going to take you into an app. So we'll go back to, I'm just going to close my photos, push done, and go back into my apps. So let me show you the apps. Have any of you ever used any apps for digital before? These Adobe ones I love. Adobe Sketch, Adobe Draw, and Adobe Line. If you're a total beginner, which I was just a few weeks ago, I would rather go with this app called Sketches. Okay, I just want to show you what it looks like so you can fall in love with it like I did. Whoops, where are my tools? Let's see. Wow, that was like a sample I did on Periscope the other day. Here are the tools, okay? Pencil, pen, marker, brush tip pen, crayon, paintbrush, watercolor. I forget what this paintbrush is. And there's all these different tips too. We'll do a whole scopes on that. Let me know if you're interested. There's even this awesome shape tool where you can create shapes that automatically fill with pattern. And you have all your color picker here, unlimited colors to choose from. Watch. Angie, don't do the my daughter knows how this works. Try Procreate. You can record your drawings as movies. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. Oh, I totally want to check that out. I heard about Procreate. I had it in here, And then I didn't like get into it because maybe I was overwhelmed or something. I don't know. But I found that Sketches was the simplest and yet comprehensive. It's a free app, and then it's like $5 for the bells and whistles, and it totally made digital drawing accessible for me. Cool, butterfly girl. Have you done any digital drawing or anything? So I did fashion illustrations on that are so cool, but I had deleted them from the app. Once I got really comfortable, this is actually called Tayasui Sketches. If you follow my blog, fashionillustrationtribe.com, then you've heard me talking about it. But it's Tayasui Tayasui Sketches app. And let me know if you want me to like spell that again or anything. Now I'm going to go over here to the Adobe apps, which really I didn't like at all until I got comfortable. From using, this is my print and repeat, but you see what happened here? It's darker on the right and lighter on the left because of the way I had photographed it. So it's distracting because in reality, this whole area here should be just one color, one kind of white. So I'm going to show you how I created something like this, all right? So let's, I'm going to close it up. And before I show it to you, speaking of which, Amy, I wanted to show you something about, where's my favorite illustration that's in here? There's a lot of junk in here too. Well, just for example, if you have an illustration, you can't get a movie, but check out what you can do. If you put 3 fingers on your drawing, I don't know where to do it without obstructing everything, you can go backwards in time. Wait a second, why isn't it working? Yeah. Okay, ready? And you can go back to the beginning of your drawing process. Let me get over here. And then you can watch how I built the drawing. So the entire history of the creation of this sketch is like recorded forever. Now you need to scroll 3 fingers to see it, but you know, technically, you know, you could screenshot steps to share a step-by-step. And you can see the different tools I used. You know, this is just a fine line pen. And then when I added paint, hey butterflies, welcome back. This is a really interesting look into the process. Right, colors I used. Lost connection, welcome back. I'm not sure how you missed, but this is just showing how you can scroll through history. Oops, using this Photoshop app when you have, it's called Photoshop Sketches. Oops, what just happened? Erase history, that's definitely a cancel because I did not want to erase my history. I love that this app allows me to scroll through the entire history of my drawing. And if you've been on I scope about that from time to time because that just always blows my mind and it's such a rich thing to have. So now how can I put my print into repeat? Let me go back into, I'm going to use the Adobe Sketch app for this. It's actually called Adobe Photoshop Sketch. It's a free app, and again, it might be like $5 to get like bells and whistles on it. These are just like, this is an illustration I did on there that I'm madly in love with. Designs by Natasha Bacco, who you can see, I just posted something of hers on Instagram, a purple dress like yesterday. Whoa, I wanted to show you the history. Hello, where'd my girls go? Cancel. I do not want to lose my history. That's so scary. Where are my girls? Where'd they go? Where are my girls? Oh my gosh, this is so scary. Try to erase your history back to this point. Cancel. No way. Okay, sorry guys, I got myself in a little hole here. Where's my history bar? There's my drawing. Okay. Whew. That's so scary. I never want to lose this because I love watching the process of creating the illustration. So today we're talking about prints. This just goes to show how much I love prints, especially African prints. Anyone who knows me, that love affair started in 1992 when I was in Paris studying fashion design. I discovered African fashion, went crazy. Yeah. Hi, Linda. Okay, so my daughter wants me, so let's get this show. I know you guys may have come to watch how I put this in repeat. So let me show you. So don't lean on me. Don't lean on me. Because it makes my arms shake. Doggy sketch. Thanks for the hearts. Okay, now I'm going to close this up. You love it. Thank you. Oh, you've seen this, right, Amy? Amy's like, I can't believe you're still here. You know all this stuff. Okay, I'm closing this. You're so smart about all this stuff. And you're such a passionate person. I'm so excited to know you. Okay, so here's what I do. Here's my tools. Here's a basic page. Just going to zoom in here to show you. See that little icon? Whoops, where'd it go? Trying to get the focus. Oh, well. There's a little icon that looks like a photo. So I'm going to select it. And when I select it, then I select on my iPad and I pull up photos that are on my iPad. So I have the photo I just took minutes before you guys joined me, which is this one. Now that I think of it, I totally could have put like a filter on it to make it whiter or blacker or flatter, but oh well, I'll do that later. Now look, it just popped up. What I'm going to do is bring it down in size and like position it somewhere on my page. Okay, now I'm going to go back and I push plus here. See this little plus? And believe me, there's another day, or maybe even later today, I could show you all kinds of fabulous tools that are in this app for actually illustrating. Okay, now I'm going to pinch it with 2 fingers to bring it down in size again. And here's the tricky part. This is why photographing it straight and cutting your edges really clean is so important, because then I can position the next tile to get a really, you want to get a really seamless match. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to keep coming over to plus, go into on my iPad, pulling up picture. And remember, if you didn't get to see how we created the print in the first place, you can catch that scope today anytime. It's still up till like 5 o'clock tonight, and then it's also on catch.me. There you go. See, oh, this looks so much better than yesterday's because I got better lighting through here. I'm going to go to plus sign again. Pull up this on my iPad, go back, pull up the same picture, and bring it in. And you know what? I just realized I can screenshot this whole thing and then add filters to it later anyway, so whatever, you know, but trying to get the most seamless joining you can. But see, this gives me a feel for my overall print. And now I could plan to have it printed with a horizontal orientation or a vertical orientation when I put it onto fabric. And I want to give credit right now to this awesome book. This is where I actually learned to create a repeat. Even though I had taken a print design class at Parsons in years ago in the evenings, I never got to the part where they taught us how to create a repeat. And I finally bought this book, Home Deck Quilting and Apparel. It looks a little quilty to me, but once I bought it, I realized it was an awesome reference book. Talks about inks, talks about printing procedures, screen printing. I haven't even read all this. Printing fabric using hand methods. It also goes digital, so stick with me for a minute. I'll just give you a peek into this great book. Preparing blocks for block printing, which I'm really crazy about. Not only because of African prints, which are very block printed, but also because of origami papers that were block printed that I grew up doing origami on. Fabric Basics, it introduces you to like woven fabric, knitted fabric, felted fabric, and the different properties with examples, kind of building your vocabulary. This is really cool. Like all these prints are in a single colorway. Wait, is that true? Some of them, the same color, different print, and seeing how that feels. Different, just a curious cat. No, just a, you do print design, don't you though? You do print design? I think you do. Just love this book. Look how this single motif can be put into repeat, or, you know, could be arranged in various ways. And this book also talks about that. It's a really nice book. But color schemes in Photoshop. So it does go into Photoshop techniques, coloring, anti-alias, line art. Yeah, this is the stuff that always that overwhelms me. But if you want to take the art you've created and then really turn it into a print, this book, Spoonflower, you can actually create your print and order yardage, small yardage, spoonflower.com. If you're into print design, you should really check it out. They also have contests for their followers so that you can enter contests with your print design. It's all in this book. It shows you all the different techniques creating different kind of repeats in Photoshop. But I wanted to just give you a really hands-on, doing it by hand thing, because a print, in my book, it's called The Language of Fashion Design. There's one more book I wanted to show you too, but let me just talk to you. In my book, one of the designers I one of the designer biographies in there's 26 biographies in the book. It's called The Language of Fashion Design. Has 26 chapters for 26 principles of fashion and 26 biographies. And I think it was Tracy Reese who had been quoted that someone told her, one of the buyers early on, told her how a print is like the base of a collection. Of course, some people don't even like print. I'm like crazy about it. But honestly, the colors, the style, the tone, the whole feeling of your print, the content of the print, maybe the even conversational aspect of the print is so powerful. It says so much, and it influences the whole look and feel of the collection incredibly. So print design, having tools to create original prints, aside from just being full on pleasurable, like any of you who were with me as we sketched this with a Sharpie yesterday, just cold on the paper, is such a pleasurable and fun experience, as well as, you know, using it to actually create something beyond that. But just the joy of creation, period, and the kind of puzzle making